Hi, I'm Teresa, and this is Yoga with Teresa. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a core practice. So we're going to incorporate some yoga poses, warrior sets, 1, 2, 3. We're going to do a little arm strength building with a stretchy band, and we're going to use a couple blocks because we're going to do some work in lizard and lunges. So grab a band, grab a couple blocks, and we'll get started. Stretchy bands, really great little tool to have. You can get them in all different resistance. This is about medium with the green. Highly recommend having stretchy band. You can get a few different ones in different resistance levels, and definitely blocks. Good tool to have at home for your practice. All right, so we're gonna start actually on our bellies and do a half frog. So when you lie down, you're gonna have your arm here and your leg here, and just kind of mirror that, and then I'll talk you through from there. So come on down, set your props aside for now. We'll use them in a little bit. We're gonna come all the way down on our mats, and then bend the left arm, left leg. Now, so you can certainly do the other side first, and then I'm gonna bring my head forward and just let my chin rest on my hand for a minute. So what we're doing here is just kind of pressing gently down and getting the hip open, getting the shoulder open. We're going to take a couple of breaths here, just be kind of pressing down slightly. One more breath. And then we're going to roll over to the side. So I'm going to roll, and I'm going to keep my leg where it's at and set my arm down here, and I'm going to bring my head up and prop it up. And then my hand's going to come to my hip here. I'm going to just kind of give myself a little more of a stretch here. And then holding kind of in neutral, so I'm nice and long. If you need to, you can put your head down. We're going to work on this inner thigh. So we're going to pick up that leg and start to lift it and lower. And it might feel kind of tight in this movement because we don't have a lot of room to move, but that's what we want to do, is kind of just keep this a small movement, inner thigh work. We'll take a couple more breaths. Last one. Lower down, and then pick up your top leg and bring it behind you. So we're going to plant that foot down on the mat. Then we're going to do inner thigh again. You'll see kind of a difference here. We've got a little more movement. So you're going to flex the foot and lift and lower the leg. And try to find your kind of full range of motion and keep that knee long. I noticed my knees kind of wanting to bend like this. So I'm going to work on just keeping that leg nice and long, keeping length through the knee. And take 2 more lifts. And then release it down. Okay, getting a little stretch here in the quads. Grab onto the foot and bring your heel towards your glutes. Relax the shoulder. And take 1 more breath. And release. Now we're going to work on this top leg, outer thigh. So you're going to bring both legs long. Little flex of the foot. So we're drawing the toes in a little bit, but don't flex really tight. We don't want to feel tightness on the arch of the foot. We want it just to be a little neutral. Pull the belly up and in. Hand here is a little kickstand. Lift your leg up. Now your leg's a little bit behind, so it's not forward, it's back. So the front leg is at an angle, bottom leg at an angle. Top leg is a little more back. Okay, keep lifting a couple more, and then notice where you feel it. So I'm getting outer thigh, I'm also getting my glutes, but I'm getting all the way up into my torso as well. So I'm using my abdominal muscles, my obliques, maybe transverse abdominis too, as well as the rectus abdominis because you're pulling your belly in. 1 more, and then lower down. Okay, we're gonna flip around and come to that half frog on the other side. So same thing here, top knees bent, top arms bent, and bring your head down so that your chin or your forehead is resting on your other arm. We mostly get a stretch here, so just kind of press in gently. So you don't have to put your hand there, but just kind of get that leg pressing down. Take 1 more breath. And we're gonna roll a little bit, keep that top leg down. Bring your hand so that you can prop your head up, or you can bring your head down to your biceps. Okay, keeping this leg anchored, and then that bottom leg is going to lift and lower. Again, it's probably not going to be a really big movement. You might be lifting just a couple inches. Try to keep the leg floating off of the mat. Keep breathing and pull your belly in a bit. Couple more. And last one. Lower down. Bring that foot around. You're going to plant that foot down. So that just make sure that you got a nice anchor with that leg. Belly's up and in. And then we're going to keep the hand, here's a little kickstand, lift and lower. Inner thigh still. Keep the leg long. And kind of control, like I'm getting a little bit wonky here. So I'm going to slow it down a bit. Concentrate on that lift. Keep the leg long. 2 more. And last one. Okay, lower down, get a little stretch here. Take your top foot, heel to glutes. Give it a little tug in. And feel that stretch in the quads. Good. Okay, release, and then we're going to take that top leg long. So belly's up and in. Our bottom leg's a little bit of an angle, and it's pushing down. Top leg does the work as you lift and lower. So it's very slightly behind. Very slightly. And again, feel the work here. Where are you feeling the work in your body? And keep the leg nice and long. We want to keep control of our movement. 1 more and lower down. All right, we're going to come around to our bellies now. And first find Sphinx with the elbows underneath, fingertips spread wide. And kind of lift here and lengthen. Press yourself nice and tall. Little stretch. And then lower down. Okay, we're going to do some locust poses. So we're going to start with the forehead on the hands. Keep the elbows wide. And then you're going to lift your legs up behind you and lift head, neck, and shoulders. But keep the head on the hands, elbows wide, and hold. Keep lengthening in the body. Keep breathing. Lift a little more if that works okay. 1 more breath. And lower down. You can put your chin on your hand or keep your forehead there. We're going to repeat that 2 more times. Lifting up and holding. 2 or 3 breaths here. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. You can lower down the legs if it's too much on the back. 1 more breath. And release either chin or forehead on the hands. And if you want a little break in between, you can windshield wipe the legs as well. And release it down. Okay, once more. Hands out on the forehead. Lift and lengthen. And hold. And breathe. Good. And lower down. All right, hands underneath the shoulders. Press yourself up. We're going to take a little puppy pose stretch here. So the hips are lifted and lengthen out. Then we'll take that into child's pose. I'm going to turn around here so I'm closer to my props. Knees wide, toes together. Press back and have a seat on your heels. Lengthen the arms. So we want our arms to be really active. And press up to hands and knees. So we're going to do a little bit on hands and knees here. If you need extra padding, you can double up mat or put a blanket underneath. Pull the belly up and in. So first, spread the fingers wide. Get your tabletop nice and strong. So we don't want to start out like this. We want to be nice and lengthened in the body. Okay, pull up in the belly. Belly up and in. Okay, we're going to take the right leg, left arm. So it's kind of like this reaching, like crawling. So big reach, lower. Other side, leg and arm. Kind of do it simultaneously if that works. If not, you can do leg first and then the arm. And we'll do a few more like that. Reach, pull up in the belly. Keep it nice and long. Whoop. Losing my balance today. Trying to talk at the same time sometimes is challenging. All right, let's do 2 more sets. So really long stretch and you're really pulling up in the belly. 1 more set. And release it down. Okay, press the floor away a little bit. And this time we're going to round the back into a cat. Pull the belly in. And release and flatten out. Okay, working in the legs. I'm going to take the knee, keep it bent, and push your leg up. So I'm starting with my left, but you can start with either side, doesn't matter. pull the belly up and in, and see if you can kind of keep that leg nice and square. We're going to take some small movements here. First, we're going to just press our foot up to the ceiling, kind of like a little donkey kick. Lift, lift, lift. So again, it's not a great big movement. We're not bringing that knee down. We're keeping it really high. Belly up and in. 2 more. And release. Now we're going to come down so that you're parallel, but you're going to keep that knee floating. You're going to press it out to the side and hold. And then again, little tiny moves. So we're going to try to keep it high. Lift, lift, lift. 2 more. Lift, lift, and lower down. Take a little break. Take a little wiggle side to side. All right, staying on the same leg, we're going to get one more little work here. So we're going to lengthen that leg out. Bend the knee, bring it toward the elbow, and around and back out. So it's kind of a circle, might be a little bit of an oval shape. 2 more. Last one. And lower it down. Take a nice deep breath. Okay, I'm going to turn around as we come to the second side here. Same thing, knee stays bent, lift it up. And again, you want this nice square shape, so don't let it sag down. Don't let your belly sag down. We're going to press that foot to the ceiling, a little donkey kick. Lift, pull the belly in. Make sure you're still pulling in your belly while you do this. Staying nice and long in the spine. 1 more. And then lower that knee down. You're going to be parallel, so you just have that leg floating. Lift it up to the side. And lift, 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 lift. A couple more. Lift, lift. Lower down. Take a breath, and then we'll do same side with that knee coming up. Extend the leg, bend it, bring it around toward the elbow, out. And keep that going. Around, extend, around, extend, around, extend, and 1 more. Around, extend. Lower down, coming to child's pose again. Sit back. Now if you want, you could keep your head up. Don't necessarily need to bring the face all the way down, and just really press back into your heels. Stretch the hips, stretch the back, and release it up. All right, I'm coming around again so I can be by my props. Grab your blocks and have them on about the medium setting. If you want low or high, you can do that. For me, the medium works best here because I just want a little bit room, not too much. Okay, hands and knees, hands on the blocks. Right leg comes out, and then bring it forward and step it down. Okay, I've got knee over ankle, and I'm going to stretch a little bit in this back leg first. And then we're going to do a lizard pose here. So you're going to heel toe your foot a little wider, and bring your blocks so they're the inside of your leg. And then that back toe curls and lift it up. So we're in this wide stance. Then we're going to lower the knee down, slow, soft. Try not to land with all your weight on it. So we're going to keep a little bit floated and then lift it back up and lower. And nice and slow here. So this is lowering and lifting. You're going to feel a stretch in the feet even on this one. Kind of nice stretch there. A couple more. Last one. And then hold up. So we're staying in this high lizard lunge. And you're going to heel toe your foot back in. Use your blocks here to frame. And then bring them up on the higher setting. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to lift up on that back foot. And we're going to come up and kick that foot up. Keep the front foot bent. And lower it back down. So a couple more like that. Keep that front knee bent. Lift. Lower. Hands are on the blocks, but try not to put all your weight. Really put some weight in that front foot. Lift. And lower. One more. If you want, you can try without the blocks. And lower. Okay, take a breath here. We're going to come all the way up. Stand up nice and tall. Bring your hands to your pelvis. Shoulders relax. We're going to do a knee down and lift. Now, I'm not coming super far today. If you want to tap your knee all the way down to the mat, you can. Just kind of work where it feels good for you. Couple more. Watch the knees. One more. And bring the hands to the blocks. Okay, stopping here for just a moment. We're going to step it forward and step back with your other leg. Make sure you're switched. Blocks lower, heel toe the foot out, hands on the blocks, lower your back knee down, uncurl the toes, and take a moment here to just kind of stretch, relax the shoulders. Now we're going to curl the toe, lift up, so we stay in this lizard, knee comes down, taps, and lifts. A few more like that, knee down, lift, knee down, lift, knee down, lift, knee down, lift. Okay, staying up, bring your blocks so that they frame your foot now. Heel toe your foot back in, blocks on the higher setting, and we're going to hold up here. Now, so we're going to stay and push weight into your front foot. That back leg kicks up and lower, so kind of like a warrior three, but keeping that front knee bent. We'll come into warrior three in a little bit here. Lift, and one more. Hold, and then rise all the way up. Hands to the pelvis, relax your shoulders, back knee lowers, and lifts. If you want challenge, arms could come up. Couple more, really concentrate then on the lower body, staying steady. One more, and release down. Okay, take a step back, lower your knees down, bring your blocks so they're on the wide part on the top. We're going to get a little upper body work here. We're going to come into a plank. Legs back and hold. Okay, pull the belly up and in. Turn your elbow creases forward. Take a little glide on the toes. We're going to lower down like an inch. Press up, lower, press. Just a tiny bit. Doing little short push-ups here. Two more. You can come to the knees if you want. Now, knees down. Uncurl the toes. Take a little stretch back. Just one deep breath. And come on forward. Okay. I'm going to set those blocks aside. We'll use them again in just a little bit. But for now, grab your strap and make your way up to standing. Take a nice deep breath. So we haven't been up yet, so check in, take a breath, stand up nice and tall. And we're going to use our strap here to do a little upper body while we do some warrior poses. So our first one will be a warrior one. Bring your strap or your stretch band underneath the right foot. So that foot's going to stay parallel. Left leg comes back, and a little bit of an angle. Front knee's bent, back leg long. So here we are in a warrior one stance. So we're going to grab our band with both hands, and then we're going to take it up and around the back. So it's kind of hard to get there, but once you get there, you should have a really taut band, and your arms are stretching out, and you're pulling. Okay, so we're going to take those arms and bend them down, lift, bend, lift, getting into the triceps here, and make sure your foundation's staying strong. The legs are working hard for us too. Belly's up and in. One more. Okay, release. Careful as you release that band. Come back around. Staying exactly where we're at with our legs. We're going to do a little bicep curl. So we're going to lock the elbows in, and we're going to curl and lower. Curl and lower. If you need to, walk your hands down on that band, get a little more tension. You can wrap the band around your arms. A couple more breaths, a couple more curls. Last one. And release. Okay, coming into taking that band off and warrior two. Okay, so same side, knees bent, back legs long, but now we've got the back leg parallel to the side of the mat. Belly's up and in. Sink it down. Bring your strap out in front of you, and we're going to have it kind of like you're shooting an arrow here. So the right arm's extended and left arm's bent. And then so hold here for just a moment, get settled. Okay, so we're going to do our work here. Make sure you have some tautness in the band, so if you need to just walk your hand and get a little stronger. Watch your head, watch your hair. Pull the band back and forward. Keep the gaze forward, keep the wrists long. Pull and back. So we're extending the opposite arm, and we're keeping our legs steady. Make sure you're keeping those legs strong. Two more, and and release. Straighten the front leg, pivot, lift the band up, and just bring it down behind you for a nice stretch. Back up, and we'll come right around to the other side. So we're coming to our warrior two. We'll do the warrior two here first, and then we'll come to our warrior one. So get steady. Make sure your knees over the ankle and that your feet are positioned properly. Extend long in the front arm. Gaze forward. Back elbows lifting. You're going to pull and release. Lock it in if you need to get more tension on the band. Belly's up and in. Gaze forward. Couple more. And last one. Good. Then we're going to come around and we're going to come to our warrior one. So you can take that strap, band, put it underneath the front foot. Back leg is now slightly angled, not much. Hips forward. Okay, so here's that tricky one. We're going to grab the band. I'm going to bring it up and around. Grab onto it overhead. Keep your warrior one stance. Pull the band up and down. Up and down. Sometimes you get shaking in this one. Totally okay. Just do the best you can. A few more. Stop if you need to. Last one. And release it around carefully. Okay, bicep curls. So grab onto the band again. Make sure you're set up nice and strong. That back foot's nice and grounded. Don't come up on the toes. Make sure the heel's pressing down. And pull. Elbows are locked to the side. Bicep curls. Try to bring your band all the way up. Find your full range of motion. Couple more. Last one. Release. All right. Take the band off. We're going to work a little bit in warrior three. So you can set your band aside and grab your blocks. Okay, so what we're going to do on this one is we're going to watch here first. We're going to come in like we did earlier with the knee bent, and we're going to try to straighten the leg and do a few like that, and then we'll hold in our warrior three. Okay, so a couple hands on warrior three. Hips stay forward, belly's up and in. Relax the shoulders. Try to get the work in the lower body. We're going to have our hands on our blocks to help us out. But try not to put all your weight there. Try to really get that low body and the pelvis doing the work for you. Okay, right foot's a little forward. Grab your blocks. And you're pretty much going to frame your foot, but adjust as needed. You might want them a little in front of you or a little bit behind you. Okay, so start out in your lunge. Front knee's bent. And lift that back leg up. And then here again, move the blocks forward or back if you need to. So I'm going to adjust a little. And then I have my front leg straightened, so I see where that's at. Then I'm going to bend my front knee and lift. So go slow. It doesn't have to be a great big movement. And really watch the knee. Try to stay long in the upper body. So you could try without your hands on the blocks if you want. Because we don't want to put a lot of weight on those hands, just a little bit. And then hold here, so both legs are straight. Warrior three. Flex your foot, push back in the heel. You got a level pelvis. And hold. Again, blocks could come forward. So here, if you want, try hands at heart center. Maybe try airplane arms. Maybe try arms in front. So you can find all those different positions, but the blocks are there if you want. Hold. One more breath. Lower the foot down in the back. And come on up. Straighten both legs. Okay, so we're going to come into kind of a pyramid pose from here, and then we'll do the other side. So we have front leg, foot's parallel to the side of the mat, back leg's tiny pivot, not much. Want the hips to be facing forward. Hands could be on your hips or hands at heart center, or if you want, you can bring hands behind you and either do reverse namaste or just a stack. So I'm going to have hands stacked. I'm going to come forward about halfway, and I'm going to come right back up. And then this next time you come forward, feel that point where you feel like a stretch in the leg, but not into a strain. So kind of feel that point where it's best for you to stop. Come forward and hold. And again, come right back up. Okay, so we're going to come to that place where you can hold it for a few breaths. So it can't be into something that's a strain, but the blocks are there if you want to put your hands on the blocks. Okay, come on forward. and hold. Okay, that front foot's doing a kind of a dragging motion. It's like trying to drag back, but your toes stay spread wide. And take 2 more breaths. And release. All right. Step it forward, shake the legs out a little bit, release your arms, and remember what stack you had if you had the hands stacked, so that we can switch on the next one. Okay, nice and tall, shoulders relax. We're going to come into setting up for warrior 3. Step back, opposite side now, belly up and in, front knee bent, so you're kind of in a high lunge. Come forward, find your blocks. Okay, so adjust as needed. You're gonna lift that back leg up, keep the front knee bent, straighten it for a moment, lengthen through the body, and then bend the knee. So again, we want to not put a lot of weight in our blocks. You're going to bend the knee and lift, bend, and lift, bend. And if you want to try, you can try without the hands on the blocks, 1 or 2. And then we're going to hold. We're going to straighten that front leg. Hold in your warrior 3. Make sure you're pressing the heel behind, belly up and in. If you'd like, you can release the hands, come to heart center. They can be airplane arms or they can be in front of you. And you got the blocks there if you need them, right? Hold. 1 more breath. Hands to block. Lower your foot down. Come on up. So setting up again for pyramid pose. Make sure that there's not too much an angle in that back leg. Front leg is straight. Shoulders relax. Now, if you stacked arms, you can put them back, but make sure you switch to the opposite arm on top. And then just come forward, hinge it forward, hinge it back up. Second hinge here, make special attention to where you're finding that place where you can come into stretching, but not too much. Come down, hold, and then right back up. So you're gonna find that place now where we can hold again for a few breaths, and then that front foot's doing this kind of dragging motion as you come down. Come down. And come to where you can hold, so don't come into a really strainy part. If you need to, you can release hands to the blocks. Hold. 1 more breath. And lift it up. Release. Shake the legs out a little bit. Give it a couple breaths. All right, we are going to set those blocks aside and use the band here for a couple more things. Okay, so what we're going to do is step on it with the right foot. And you're going to walk your hands down and give it like a nice amount of tension. Okay, we're going to bend the knee that has the band. You're going to lift it. Okay, find the steadiness here. Now, if you need to, what you'll do is you'll tap it down. But if you can do it without touching the ground, then we'll do some movements there. We're just going to do 5. So you're going to press your foot down and lift it back up. Down and lift. Find your balance as best as you can. 1 more. And see if you can bring your leg out straight and just stretch it up and lower it back down. All right, release the other side. So I'm getting a little bit unsteady myself just because, get a little tired, and that's okay. So take a nice deep breath, find your balance. Okay, press your other foot into the mat, bend your knee, lift the strap up. I'm going to press the heel down toward the floor and lift. If you want to, at any time, tap it down or keep the foot floating. All right, 1 more. Leg out, stretch, and down and release. All right, give everything a little shake. We're going to come down in a squat. Set your strap aside. Legs are a little wide. Hands at heart center if you'd like, or wherever it feels comfortable. So I like to turn out a little bit here so that my heels are in and my toes are out. And watch the knees, so you don't want them squeezing in or out. They're going to kind of track over your feet, so that's kind of your guide. Come on down to a squat. If you needed to, you can grab the block and put it underneath. And we'll hold here. Then we're going to do some subtle work here. So once again, if you need that block, just plop it underneath, and then you've got that block to sit on. We're going to squeeze the elbows, press them away, and then squeeze them in. So there's sort of like the legs and the arms are doing work here, and nobody's winning. We're squeezing and pressing. Squeeze, press, squeeze, press, and then hold. So you're gonna hold here, but you're gonna keep pressing the elbows out and keep squeezing the knees in, and just like a little, holding a little fight here between the arms and the legs. One more breath, and then sit and release. All right, we're gonna take a little stretch here first. Soles of the feet together, knees out to the side, and breathe. Good. And release. All right, we won't be using the band again. We're gonna use the blocks here for a little bit, or one block actually. So you can set one block forward. We're gonna come up to a bridge with a leg lifted. So choose your leg, doesn't really matter. I'm gonna do right first with my foot on my block, and then I'm gonna come down and set up for bridge. Hair out of the way if you've got long hair, and press in with the low back. So I'm just kind of adjusting here so I can find that place I can press in with my low back. My foot's on the block, so this is gonna give us this kind of off kilter, but that's what we want to get this little work here. So we're gonna press weight into the block and then lift so that you're in a bridge. So you're kind of tilted a little bit. See if you can lift your heel on the opposite foot and lift up a little bit more and hold. And then we're gonna just lower the heel and lift. So the foot that's working is the one that's not on the block. The one on the block is really getting a lot of weight in it too. Okay, one more. And see if you can pick up the leg that's not on the block and cross it over. So we have a figure 4 bridge, and we're just gonna hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release and come all the way down. Belly relaxes a bit. We're gonna switch. So that block's gonna come to the other side. Foot on the block. Get steady and press it up. Okay, nice lift here. And then lift up your opposite heel so that you've got this level pelvis. And then we're gonna lower the heel down and lift, lower and lift. Keep that going, keep breathing, keep that pelvis strong, keep the belly strong. And last one, hold, lift your leg up, cross it over. So we're in this one-legged bridge, and hold, lift, keep lifting the hips for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, uncross, and hug your knees to your chest, cross over the feet, and pull everything into a little ball. Uncross, cross the other way, and tuck yourself into a little ball. Good. Okay, we're going to grab that block, and we're going to bring it between the knees, and we're going to bring our legs up to tabletop. So have the block kind of pressing down on the lower legs so that you keep the feet apart here. We're going to keep nice and square, bellies in. We're going to take a little rock over to the left and hold. Come to center, rock to the right and hold, and back. So I'm run out of room on my right side, so I'm not going far, but you decide how far you go. So I'm going a little short on my right versus my left. Couple more. One more set. Left and right. And then hold. Okay, you're going to take the legs up to the ceiling. Maybe move your block so it's between the ankles and the feet now. So you keep a gentle squeeze on it so it doesn't fall on your head. And we're going to take those legs partly overhead, so just a partial pike. Come back down. And then we're going to lower the legs toward the floor and back up. So you decide how big a movement this is. It could be tiny, it could be big. Lift, lower the back, lower the legs. Straight up to the ceiling. Pike it over like you're coming to a plow almost. Legs down and up. One more set. Pike, here and down and up. Okay, bend the knees. Keep that block between the knees again, lower body. We're going to bring the hands behind the head. And we're going to do some little crunches here. So we're going to keep the elbows lift and lift. And then if you want to add the knees, you can pull the knees in towards you. Or you can just lift the upper body, your choice. Don't pull on your head. You should be able to release the hands. You're working right here at the upper part of the rectus abdominis, the sternum. Just kind of tucking and lengthening. Tuck. One more. And release it down. Head to the mat. Release your block, feet down. Let's take the arms overhead and stretch them out. Stretch the legs out long. And tuck the knees to the chest. Okay, both legs up to the ceiling. And hold. Good. And lower down. All right, we're going to do one more here. Feet on the mat. And this time what we're going to do is we're going to lift in a bridge. Then we're going to reach up like we're climbing out with a rope climb. Okay, feet on the mat, knees bent. Curl to your bridge. Lift the hips. Lower down. And then reach up like you're pulling up on a rope. And lower back down. Okay, 2 more sets like that. Curl. Lift to your bridge. Lower the hips. Curl upper body and grab for that rope. And lower down. Once more. Curl. Lower the hips. Curl the upper body. Reach, 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 reach. And lower down. Okay, so turn your knees to one side. Turn your neck and head to the other side. Come back to center and switch. Knees over. Gaze to the opposite. Do that one more time on each side. So kind of just doing this nice stretch out of the spine, the hips, and the neck. And release. All right. So you can set yourself up here in multiple ways. We're going to do a short shavasana. You could keep the knees bent, feet on the mat, and bring your legs a little wider. Constructive rest. That's a nice way to do that. You could do legs up the wall. Either just free in the middle of the mat, or you could go to a natural wall. You could do corpse pose, or one of my favorites is to come back into that half frog pose. So I come over to my belly, and I'll bend one knee, one arm, and take a few breaths here. So wherever you're at, just settle in for a couple breaths and be comfortable. Stretch it out and breathe. Take 2 more breaths wherever you're at. If you're in your half frog, we're going to switch to the other side in just a moment. But if you're in a corpse or legs up the wall, just hold there. And if you're in a half frog, then just switch to the other side. You don't need to flip or anything. Just bend the other arm, other leg. And take a couple breaths. And once again, don't force anything. Just let gravity kind of open up and stretch gently in the shoulders and the hip. And then wherever you are, you're going to make your way up to a seated posture. And if you'd like, you could even sit on a block. So anything that's comfortable, that gets those hips down a little, hips lifted and knees down a little bit. Sit up nice and tall. Find your breath here. Come back to just kind of feeling through the body. Feel all the places that we work. So is there any place right now that's kind of talking to you? Maybe there's some places that feel warm or kind of energetic. And just kind of think about what are you feeling in your body, and just name those feelings and those emotions and what's happening in the body. So you're very familiar with what happens in your body when you move. So you should know, where's your arm in space. If you lift your arm, know exactly where it is, and just be so familiar with the body. You can say, yep, my right hip's talking to me. I'm getting it deep in my glutes. Or my left hip feels warm and soft, but my right not so much. Whatever's going on, just kind of feel there. And then relax the belly, sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes if you'd like here for a couple breaths. Nice big inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. One more deep breath in through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Release your hands to heart center and just let the hands rest gently together and at your chest. A little tuck of the chin, little nod. Staying tall here. And then taking a moment of gratitude for body, breath, and mind. Thank you so much for practicing with me. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. And I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I will practice with you right here again very soon. Thank you.